Ever feel like you're running on empty, but you just keep going? You're not lazy, you're not broken. You might be burned out, and you're not alone. But what if I told you the real reason behind burnout isn't just stress or overwork? It's something much deeper and much harder to escape. Burnout isn't new, but today, it's everywhere. In a recent survey, over 75% of people said they felt burned out at work. Some are quiet quitting, others just quitting, or dreaming of walking away from it all to finally do something that matters. But what is burnout? Really, why is it rising so fast? To find the answer, we have to rewind time. The word burnout didn't even exist until the 1950s. It barely showed up in books, but by the 1980s, it exploded, thanks to a psychologist named Herbert Freudenberger. He didn't just study burnout, he lived it. Crushed by stress and anxiety, he sometimes couldn't get out of bed. He said he couldn't even feel joy anymore. Freudenberger defined burnout as a response to relentless pressure. Perfectionism, overdrive, the crushing need to always do more, be more, achieve more. Sound familiar? Psychologist Laurie Santos breaks it down into 3 brutal symptoms. Emotional exhaustion, you're drained. One more task might break you. She compares it to a house of cards. Add just one more, and the whole thing collapses. Depersonalization, you become cynical, numb, distrustful. Authentic human connection feels like a distant memory. Personal ineffectiveness, the worst of all, that sinking feeling that nothing you do matters. No progress, no purpose, no point. That last one cuts deep because it's tied to something far bigger. Anthropologist David Graeber called it out. He coined the term bull*jobs. Jobs that even the people doing them secretly think are useless. Graeber described roles that feel so meaningless, people have to pretend they matter, just to keep their sanity. He wrote a small online essay about it. It went viral. Millions of people read it. The website even crashed. Why? Because so many of us saw ourselves in it. In one poll, 37% of people said their job contributed nothing meaningful to society. Here's the vicious cycle. You spend 8 hours a day doing work you think doesn't matter, which makes you feel like you don't matter. It's not just the job, it becomes your life. And even jobs that seem important can feel empty. One person described working at UPS, sorting packages on a conveyor belt. Hours of physical labor, yet the packages just kept coming. Endless, unstoppable. Later, in tech jobs, it was the same story. Endless meetings, projects that didn't go anywhere, new metrics, new buzzwords, same results. Everyone smiled through it, but underneath, we were all pushing digital boulders uphill, like modern-day Sisyphus behind a screen. And burnout doesn't stop at work. It spills into everything. Philosopher Byung-Chul Han calls it the burnout society. In his view, we're not suffering from negativity, but from too much positivity, too much pressure to achieve, too much "you got this," too much hustle. Even rest becomes productive. We meditate to be more effective. We relax to recharge for more work. When everything becomes about output, even leisure becomes a chore. So, what's the antidote? It might be this: we need to do nothing. Sounds wrong, right? But in ancient Greece, idleness wasn't lazy, it was essential. Philosophers like Aristotle believed contemplation, just sitting, thinking, being, was the highest form of life. Bertrand Russell agreed. He said the modern person has forgotten how to do things just because they matter. Not for money, not for productivity, but for meaning. Imagine doing something just for its own sake, not because it helps your career, or grows your brand, or adds value, just because it's beautiful, or fun, or true. When we lose that, we lose ourselves. So, where do we begin? Maybe with boredom, just sitting, doing nothing, no phone, no notifications, no goals. It's hard. But maybe boredom is the first crack in the burnout wall. Maybe it's the doorway back to being human. Because in a world that wants to keep you busy, doing nothing might be the most radical act of all.